more YouTube, and thank you for joining me for another card market watch on Thursday, the 9th of July. We're getting closer. We're getting closer every day. I believe tomorrow, as in Friday, will be the actual release date of the Sacred Beast structure deck. I do think it is coming out for most people if you bought from a store today, so you might be getting yours. I think I'll be receiving mine Friday, and then let's see if we can make an actual not necessarily competitive, but a working deck out of it on Saturday. So that'll be Saturday's video. But yeah, today we're just going to go through a sort of more like, not necessarily penny stocks, but more like penny cards that you probably want to use in most of your decks, if not all decks. Run the same things. Obviously, combo decks don't always run like a field spell, and for instance, like, so you won't want to look a Terraforming in every single deck, but Terraforming is a great card. But so we're going to go through some cheap stuff. Obviously, we've just had a few sets of reprints. Some cards obviously came out of those that are actually, very, very well priced now. So let's jump in, let's have a nosy and see what we can find. So then, I'm just going to have a quick look for basically the last two big sort of like massive selling sets, in terms of like essentially just like trying to get more cards in people's hands for a good price, as well as also being a good rarity. So we're going to start off with Dual Overload. Now you think, well, Dual Overload gets shown a lot. It does, but you only really talk about the three big cards in Dual Overload. What we don't talk about is the fact, like, Salamangreat Almirage. This is a fantastic card. It's a Link 1. Alright, it doesn't do a lot, but it's a Link 1. It's a Cyverse. It's played pretty much anything that isn't a Salamangreat card. It's just a good generic Link 1. One normal summoned monster with 1000 or less attack. Most normal summoned cards generally have this as a standard, because that card generally will then have an effect that will then summon something else out. But it's cheap. Super cheap. People were thinking this was going to be like a massively expensive card, because the original was quite expensive, and then I'm pretty sure Kagari just went like, print them all, just print them now, just do it. Because there's like, how many on the market currently? There is 4,000 of these on the market. Yeah. So the first Englishes are here. You only want to play normally one of these. As I said before, we're going to go through these now. If you can buy it like 10-15 cards, it's going to cost you £4 and then £2.50 postage. You made a bargain. Double Evolution Pill. What just came out? Dinosaur just came out. Double Evolution Pill. Its only other printing is in BLR, which I think is Battle Legends Light Revenge. Super cheap. Super cheap. In English as well. Again, if you can find people that are selling these, even if you're having to pay like an extra 5 pence per card, it's only 5 pence per card. You're going to save a lot more on the postage. Chaos Dragon Levianeer. So, we just had Toon Chaos. As you can guess, this is a Chaos monster. It's in the name. If you're going to play something like Thunder Dragons, or you're going to play Toons to a degree, or if you're going to play like Rocket Link, or you're going to play just a Chaos-based engine of any sorts, pick up Chaos monsters. So Chaos Dragon Levianeer has come out in Ultimate Rare, I believe Secret Rare, and now in Ultra Rare. So yes, you are getting varying prices, but this card is great. Get wrecked. If you can get some, this guy's got quite a few. As I've said, if you can go through people's things, and maybe he's charging like 2 pence extra for this card than the next person, but there's like 3 or 4 cards here that you want is charging less, or even if it's just a little bit more, but you can get all the cards from the same person. Think how much money you're going to save on the postage. But yeah, if you don't have one of these cards and you're thinking about playing a Chaos engine deck, or just a cards with a Chaos essence to it, A Night in Dark basically becomes a Chaos engine. Dingrishu, my bad. 2 level 8s, super generic level 8 XYZ. Super cheap in this, came out in Dane, came out in OTS Pack 11. OTS Pack 11 still holding some value, between 25 and 35. Dane, last time I looked, I think it dropped down to roughly about the, I think, £9 mark. It's still the oldest version of this card, which is why it's holding some value. I think it's a secret rare. I don't think it's an ultra rare. I could be wrong though. But the ultra rare out of Dual Overload is, again, shockingly cheap. And again, if you can find someone selling a lot of the same cards. So yeah, a lot of these cards that you need or want, just chap here, 120. Well, there you go. You can say, well, this guy's 20p cheaper, but it's going to save you a few pound in postage if you look at it that way. Terraforming, as I started off the argument with, not every deck will want terraforming, but if you look at a lot of decks that will have a field spell, or the field spell is basically used for one thing to then, you know, essentially extend things, terraforming. Okay, a lot of the structure decks do have terraforming as a free card within those sets, but it's a great rarity bump, as I always say. If you just want to have something that looks nice in your deck, the commons aren't always the nicest looking cards just because of how commons are. Treat yourself to one of these. Again, if you can find someone who's selling quite a few cards. So I don't know if you can see them here, but there's a lot of English currently for sale. Italians, Germans, French. I think we saw French there. It's worth looking at. Like I said, if you can find someone who's selling a lot of these cards, there you go. Alright, you're paying probably like an extra 30p for the card, but again, you start saving on postage. Zombie World. If you want to play zombies, Zombie World makes every single card on the field a zombie card. You're almost on the field, and in the graveyards become zombie monsters. Neither player contributes some monsters except zombie monsters. If you're playing zombies, it doesn't matter. Here you go. This is a field card. Guess what's really good with a field card? Terraforming. There you go. Zombies are good. Zombies aren't never going to be meta again unless they just make a really ridiculous zombie format or archetype that does just take advantage of being that. Yes, Eldritch is a zombie, but you don't really play him as a zombie archetype. You play him just because he's a constantly recurring trapper and zombie monster card that just comes back from the grave. Constantly. Recurringly. Painfully. But yeah, well, that is the best zombie deck we've had for a long time. But you don't class him really as a zombie. Although he's a zombie. Sky Striker Ace Kagari. For the majority, I think in this set, you can get them in... I think you get most of them, if not all of them, in Prismatic. Very affordable, very cheap. But Sky Striker Ace Kagari. Alternate art, I think the alternate art looks really, really nice. Quite cheap. Again, English 20. These are like super high printed, it seems. I think a lot of people got these when they came out. But yeah, go for it. If you can find, again, someone selling a lot of the same cards, you save it on postage. You're probably saving like £2 or £3 per like order on postage. Now, Golden Castle of Stromberg. If you like playing mill decks that mills yourself, and you have like a certain like boss monster in the engine that will then really get better and better because you milled yourself out, Golden Castle Stromberg, great card. So you're looking like Grand Measure. It doesn't feel like it's Grand Measure. Maybe got the name wrong or pronunciation wrong. But cards that are essentially this. Same with like Eater of Millions, and a few other cards very similar that go, hey, however many cards you've discarded, my attack is at 100 times how many cards. So yeah, you've put your 52 card deck into there. You've got a couple of cards out. There you go. Also, field card. Terraforming. But yeah, not looking to pay a lot of money for this card either. Beautiful card in ultra rare. So, Laws Live, seen a few of him in these. North Odin, seen a few of these. But yeah, you're not paying a lot for this card. If you can get it, it's a really nice card. It's only got one other printing, in secret rare mind you. But if you don't mind, obviously, the rarity downgrade, beautiful card. In all fairness, for me, ultra rares are that start of where you start going like, do I really need to upgrade to a sparkly? Because 9 times out of 10, if I've got the ultra rare, I don't really want the sparkly card, unless the sparkly card is like also like alternate art and it's just fantastico. But yeah, just go for this. Righty Driver. So we've gone to dual power now. For those who aren't aware, Righty Driver, if Jet Synchro ever gets banned, is essentially the next version of that current combo with Heavy Firebreaks, because it is a tuner, and level 1 tuner. Yeah, so Righty Driver is essentially the next Jet Synchro if we ever have that issue. So, super cheap in the market. Again, if you're looking at people you can buy from. Now obviously we're going to a different set now, so it might be more awkward to actually try and find someone who's like selling this as well as the other stuff, but at the same time, they might have things, obviously, indoor power that you might want. Harpies are getting support in, I believe, Rise of the Duelist. I think they're getting a Synchro Monster. I think it's Rise of the Duelist. Obviously, there's only the 2 printers currently. We will be having the Lost Art version, I believe, of Harpie Dancer coming soon. I think it's Harpie Dancer. Again, super cheap. If you can get someone who's obviously selling again, combine it, get your postage. I'm not saying it's a great card, but I do believe it is used in the engine of the Harpie ladies. Ancient Yugioh Ultimate Pound. We just got the Season 1. If you want to upgrade yourself to the higher rarity, this does come out in other sets, as well as Toon Chaos. For some reason it doesn't show. No, Toon Chaos Season 1. Yeah, it's ultra rare. It's a nice card. Does polymerization. Again, if you can find, same thing every single time, if you can find more people that are selling the same things that you want, if you pay like 2 or 3p extra, 5-10p extra, you save it all on the postage. Available items 4,070. People are going to want to sell you these. They're not worth anything, but there's no secondary value because they're so highly printed. But you can make a nice, easy, quite cheap deck out of them. Not all these things are going to be competitively viable because of how they work, but you can have a lot of fun decks for very cheap. So if you're thinking, okay, I spent like £10 on like, well, let's just say, for instance, 70 cards, including postage. Well, that's 70 cards you got for £10 in postage. How often can you say that you went out and basically made a full deck and a side, and like, you know, maybe a side or an extra deck just because you went through all this? Not just saying that's going to be massively viable, but at least you can do it. Miracle Fusion. If you're a hero player, I'm a hero player. Are you a hero player? We could be hero players together. Hero players. Ultra rare. Looks great. Here you go. Fusion summon one element of hero fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. Well, what do? You throw out Mr. Neos or Honest Neos. You put him in the graveyard. Use his Honest ability. There you go. He's in your graveyard. Next thing you know, you just use whatever card. There you go. Done. I love it. Again, if you can find English, as I've said before, if you can find multiple people selling multiple things, go for it. It's a good card. The fact it's so cheap is really, really good. But yeah, if you're a hero player, go for it. Frightfur Patchwork, ultra rare. Now, I was daft and I accidentally brought the Sofu version, which is just a rare. For some strange reason, I think there's also common out there, but I can't remember where that comes from. Frightfurs are getting a nice little upgrade in Rise of the Duelist. If you are interested in playing Frightfurs, I recommend you picking this up now. There is a chance it could be reprinted in Battle of Legend. Like, there could be a chance that you're going to get some of the Frightfurs reprinted in Battle of Legend, as we haven't seen them reprinted since older sets. And some of them have been quite a while, especially since we got the Fluffle Angel. But yeah, this guy again, super cheap. I'm not sure if you play 3 of these, 1 of these, or 2 of these. But yeah, if you're a Fluffle player, I believe they play these in the decks. Double or nothing. Do you want a nice, cheap, easy way of being a naughty boy, getting Utopia double out? Or here you go, double nothing, super cheap again, all deep again. Necros Unicorn. Dragma comes out in Rise of the Duelist. And Dragma, super good engine for Necros. Super good card, super cheap card. I believe it's still currently, I'm about to say, I think it's still like at 1, but didn't it just get taken off the ban list and now it's at 3? I think. Cat's going crazy. Cat, stop it. Hey, stop it. Mean cat. But yeah, Necros, really good deck. Probably like one of the only ritual decks you'd ever really use. I think Monoliths did get a little bit of usage during the whole like hype of rock monsters. But yeah, Necros, super good. Not necessarily saying it's like tier 1, tier 1.5, but definitely a tier 2. And once we start playing it again, I can see a lot of people playing with the Dragma core and essentially just pumping things out and showing people how it's done. Shaddoll Fusion, ultra rare. Yeah, if you're playing the Shaddolls, or you got yourself hands on your structure decks, it's just a rarity bump. Just looks very nice. As I said, Sometimes it's just nice to have a deck that's all shiny. Again, super high print rates. You're going to find a lot of these in the market. You can try and get 3 of them if you can, as that'll make it easier for you. But I do think it's probably going to be a bit more awkward to find this one, as this card was kind of hyped at one point in the past. Necros Mirror. Again, as I just said, if you're going to play Necros, get yourself hold of this. They did come from this originally. If you can get the shiny version, then if you can get this version for cheap, get this version for cheap. If not, just go help yourself to Necros Mirror. In this, again, super cheap. You can get like the core of this, of like Necros now, for super duper cheap. Necros, again, same thing as last one. Same guy again. So you might be paying like maybe like 15p for the card you want for the Necros, for the same guy, but you're paying that postage, but it's cheaper than probably buying it from every single other person. Vision Hero Vyon. Again, if you're a hero player and you don't have a playset of this, you don't want to play a playset. Sometimes you only play 2 of. Sometimes you play a playset of it. Again, super duper cheap card. There you go. This guy's got 2 for 10 euro or 10 cents. So there you go. I remember this card was quite expensive. Again, cheaper and cheaper. Naturia Beast, a very decent synchro monster. And obviously not saying he's like on comparison with something like Savage Borolo Dragon, but he's still a very good dragon. 1 Earth Tuner plus 1 non-Earth Tuner monster. When a spell card is activated, quick effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Negates the activation. If you do, destroy it. This card must be faced on the field to activate and resolve this effect. I don't think it's a once per turn. But there you go. So it's not very expensive. As I said, if you can see if you can find someone who's selling them. But yeah, something to be worth. So if you just need to fill out your extra deck for something cheap, there you go. And then Platinum Gadget, really good machines right now. I'm pretty sure the Machina engine does use one of these in their extra deck, as it's just a generic 2 machine monsters. Quite cheap on the board. It's probably one of the more expensive cards from the set we've looked at, from this actual what's cheap, what's not. But there we go. And then just because of if you want to get the boss monsters for your sets, you want to get your Dark Magician, you want to get your Hero Neos, you want to get your Stardust Dragon, you want to get your Odd Eyes Dragon, and you want to get your... No, that was it. It was only the 5. It was 5. Dark Magician, Neos, Stardust, Odd Eyes. I can never remember who the 5th one is. But you can get them quite cheap out of this set as well. They got mass printed. There were promos in this set, and they're all ultra rare, so you have to worry about having a rarity bump there. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. It's been a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but we did go through quite a lot of cards today. But these are the kind of things you need to look at. Go back on these reprint sets. See what you can find that's quite cheap. See if you can get lots of bundles together. If you can pick up 100 cards for, say, £7 or £8, that's 100 cards you picked up for super cheap. But that's it for today. If you enjoy yourself, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I've been your host, Yugioh Swiftly, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace out. You guys have a productive Thursday, or enjoy a rest, whatever you need to do. Goodbye.